Each year we all wait for one of the most powerful budget flagships, and it's finally here. Meet the Xiaomi Mi 6, the phone that has killer specs, awesome looks and a compelling dual camera setup. My name is Linus with the Gizmo China. Stay tuned to find out if the best of Xiaomi is worth your attention. The Xiaomi Mi 6 ships with all the usual stuff, and some extras include a soft TPU case to protect your phone. Also, you get the USB Type-C to the headset jack adapter since the phone lacks the 3.5mm part. Finally, the Mi 6 ships with a fast charger. Once you first pick the Xiaomi Mi 6 up, the first impressions are that the phone looks just gorgeous. Also, it has excellent build quality and it is fairly compact since it sports a 5.15 inches IPS LCD display, which is sharp, vibrant, and it's definitely one of the best 1080p panels you can find. We have an 8-megapixel shooter and LED notification light, which is, however, not customizable like on previous Xiaomi phones. At least we have nicely backlit capacitive keys and the Fingerprint Scanner that is actually one of the fastest and most accurate scanners that you can find on any phone. It unlocks the phone 10 out of 10 times straight from the standby mode. The stainless steel frame is almost seamless with the curved glass back panel, which actually does a decent job with all the fingerprints and smudges. In comparison, the phone does not attract fingerprints so quickly like the Samsung Galaxy S8. Also, the buttons are easy to reach and they have a great tactile feedback. It's worth mentioning that the Xiaomi Mi 6 is now splash-proof, even though the official certification number is not yet confirmed. Keep in mind that splash-proof phones are not the same as water-resistant smartphones. In other words, you cannot submerge the Xiaomi Mi 6 underwater. Don't mess your new phone up. One of the key selling points of the Mi 6 is the dual camera setup that consists of 12-megapixel shooter with wide-angle lens and another 12-megapixel sensor with a telephoto lens that gives you 2x zoom and the ability to take beautiful portrait photos with the bokeh effect. The main camera has a bright f1.8 aperture lens, 4-axis optical image stabilization, and dual-tone, dual LED flash. It is great that we have some extra features like the Air Blaster that allows you to control devices like TVs. I love the loudspeaker quality. The sound is balanced and rich, and there is even a decent amount of bass. What I don't like is that there is no headset jack on this phone. I know that the Xiaomi wants to follow a trend, but if you look at the latest flagships from Samsung or LG, Xiaomi should be more careful with this decision and I think they should have kept the headset jack. Anyway, the sound quality via the USB Type-C port using the supplied adapter is great. No distortions, great volume output, and rich and balanced sound. As far as hardware goes, the Xiaomi Mi 6 is definitely one of the most powerful smartphones the money can buy. It ships with the latest and greatest Snapdragon 835 chip, 6GB of RAM, and 64 or 128GB of internal storage, which is, however, not expandable. The gaming performance is almost perfect. All the 3D games run fine on the very highest graphics settings and the phone does not have any overheating issues. However, I noticed that there were a few skipped frames on the Asphalt 8 when I played on the highest graphics. I believe that this is due to an early software build and you don't really need to worry about that since Xiaomi releases software updates very often. The Mi 6 ships with the MIUI 8, which is built on top of Android 7.1. My device has the MIUI Global ROM 8.2 that has Google services pre-installed and all the Chinese bloatware removed. I love how fast the phone is on the daily basis even after installing quite a few apps. So far, the phone has been working absolutely fine and I didn't have any issues. As usual, there are plenty of customization options Xiaomi phones have been famous for. Just to name a few, you can adjust display settings, choose from a variety of themes or wallpapers, customize the capacitive buttons, use some gesture controls, and so on. If you want to customize the phone even further, there are a lot more features to play with. We have a familiar Xiaomi camera app that allows you to take pictures very fast. You can also play with some basic shooting modes and settings. For example, you can adjust some image properties using the manual mode or shoot slow motion videos at 720p. There is also 2x lossless zoom mode that allows you to utilize that secondary camera sensor, and this feature comes really handy. The results are pretty good, definitely a lot better than using digital zoom. The portrait mode takes good looking pictures with that bokeh effect, but sometimes you may get a picture with a little bit unnatural looking blurred background. When it comes to the image quality using the auto mode, the Mi 6 can take great pictures in good lighting. There is plenty of detail, the colors look nice, and the noise reduction is pretty good. However, I found that the dynamic range adjustment is a bit worse than on the top tier phones like the Samsung Galaxy S8. The indoor and macro shots are great too. Again, there is lots of detail and you get that nice bokeh effect thanks to the bright lens. The low-light camera performance is decent, but it's far from the top-shelf flagship-grade quality. If we compare the pictures with the Samsung Galaxy S8, you will see that there is much less detail and much more noise. Currently, I'm testing out the 4K video capabilities of the Xiaomi Mi 6. The 4K video quality is great. The footage is detailed and the continuous autofocus feature works well. Also, the colors look nice too, but they seem to be slightly oversaturated. In addition, there are some video artifacts going on, but in general, this is probably the best video quality from any Xiaomi phone. So I switched the resolution to 1080p on the Xiaomi Mi 6. The 1080p video looks good too. Obviously, there is less detail, but the optical image stabilization seems to be a better job than in 4K video mode. The selfies look great as there is a lot of detail and the colors are accurate. However, the quality decreases quite dramatically in lower lit situations. Currently, I'm testing out the video quality of the front-firing camera of the Xiaomi Mi 6. The 1080p selfie video looks quite good. There is a good amount of detail, but the footage is not as good as the one shot with the Samsung Galaxy S8. Finally, the sound recording quality is decent, but still not quite the mainstream flagship quality. When it comes to connectivity, the Xiaomi Mi 6 is just flawless. The call quality and signal reception have been excellent, the Wi-Fi range and speed are good, the Bluetooth works fine, and finally, the GPS is very accurate. The Xiaomi Mi 6 ships with a 3350 mAh battery that performs great. I use my phone very intensively for taking a lot of pictures and shooting a lot of 4K video, running benchmarks, installing a lot of apps and so on, and I still managed to get over 5 hours of screen on time. If you use the device just for the basic stuff, you should be able to get 6 or even 7 hours of SOT. Finally, the Mi 6 ships with a fast charger. It takes about 1 hour and 30 minutes to fully charge the phone thanks to the Quick Charge 3.0. So there we have it, the Xiaomi Mi 6, the latest and greatest from the Chinese tech giant. I have to say that this is a one solid smartphone and it brings a lot of flagship grade qualities for a much lower price than the mainstream flagships. Xiaomi just nailed the design and build quality, the display is nice and sharp, and the overall performance is great. You also get a great battery life with a fast charger and all the connectivity options work flawlessly. The dual cameras can take some very nice pictures, but the quality is still not on par with the top tier phones like the Samsung Galaxy S8, especially if you compare the low light performance. You should also know that the Xiaomi Mi 6 lacks the headset jack and there is no microSD card slot. At the end of the day, the Xiaomi Mi 6 is the best Xiaomi's phone yet. Even though it has a few shortcomings to consider, you can definitely call it a flagship phone even if it does not carry a mainstream flagship price tag. It was Linus, thanks for watching guys, and if you guys have any questions, please drop me a comment down below. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you like the videos, and please visit gizmochina.com for all the latest and greatest Chinese tech news and reviews. See you soon.